Mary Beth, you've been covering Social Security for decades. Is today's fear about the trust fund different from past scares, or have we been here before?
Well, over the past 40 years, the last time we had Social Security reform, it's been like a slow moving car wreck. We know this day is coming when the excess reserve trust funds would run out. But I am really sensing a fear in the last couple of years that we have a date within the next 6 years. The trust funds could be exhausted if Congress does nothing. I cannot imagine Congress saying to more than 70 million senior citizen voters, we're going to cut your benefits. But as we know, politics are a little different these days, so I'm no longer making predictions. But I agree with your video. Making a decision to claim permanently reduced benefits early out of fear is not smart.
Wade, you've written extensively about retirement security. Why do you view Social Security as much more than just another income stream?
Well, Social Security is special because it's inflation adjusted every year. You get those cost of living adjustments that match an inflation rate. It's not the exact same rate that's usually quoted in the media because there's a slightly different index and a few months delay, but it adjusts for inflation, provides protected lifetime income. And for the high earner in a couple, you also have that idea of a survivor benefit, that benefit's going to last for the joint lifetime. It's very hard to find pensions or commercial annuities or anything else that can keep up with the power of what Social Security is able to do.
Andy, when a new client tells you, I'm claiming at 62 before the money disappears, how do you respond without overwhelming them?
Like with everyone, start with an analysis. Sometimes claiming early does seem to point to the better, more informed decision for someone. Sometimes it doesn't. Delaying makes more sense. But regarding what Mary Beth said, claiming early out of fear that the trust fund's going to deplete and or that's going to lead to benefits getting reduced, you're in effect then taking on a double reduction. One reduction for claiming early, reduced from your primary insurance amount, and the second reduction, if they do actually cut top line benefits, you get that reduction. So you have a reduction on top of reduction. So I don't advise the knee-jerk reaction of file early just because, or file early because I'm scared.
Mary Beth, is there a headline around Social Security that frustrates you?
What frustrates me is Congress, our lawmakers. Think of it this way. Every Senate candidate that is up for election this year in 2026, the Social Security Trust Fund could be depleted on their watch within 6 years. And 2 years from now, every presidential candidate that runs in 2028, the Social Security Trust Funds could be depleted on their watch. As American citizens, we have the right to demand of all of these elected officials, what's your plan? How are you going to fix Social Security? Because we all need it.
Wade, do we have to plan for any scenario?
Well, I think it's reasonable to plan for the idea that benefits may be a bit lower. But to this point about the fear of I need to claim early before it's gone, it's not that Social Security would disappear. Still, there will be payroll taxes coming in. And so the projection is if there's no other part of the reform, benefits may need to be cut across the board at 22%. And that's what Andy was mentioning. I did a simulation a few years back about what if you were in the unluckiest scenario possible. The year you turn 70 is the year Social Security benefits are cut. And then I looked at, well, if you had claimed at 62 versus claiming at 70, that's kind of the worst timing that you were waiting for 70, and then that's the year benefits cut. But like Andy said, if you claim at 62, you get a lower benefit, and it's also going to be cut when you turn 70 in that case. It slightly weakened the case for delaying Social Security, but it did not overturn it by any means. So I think when you're thinking about any possible scenario, still Social Security will be around. It's not really going to change claiming decisions all that much.
Andy, if Congress waits until the last minute to act, which it seems like often is the case, how should today's retirees actually change their plans?
Similar to what Wade said, I don't think this has a material impact on the claiming decision or the planning, particularly for people in or near retirement. Now, this isn't an exact science, but what I'm telling folks is if you're 60-ish or older, I don't foresee a scenario where you have an actual headline reduction to your benefit. There may be some peripheral changes, like it might be taxed more, inflation adjustments, maybe less going forward, we don't know. People who are younger, And I don't work with those folks. I work with typical sort of retirees, so generally 55 or older. But myself, I'm below 50. I'm expecting my benefit will get cut in some way, shape, or form. People younger than me, I'm expecting that even more. So in that case, I'd factor that into planning. But for someone 60-ish or older, I don't think there's a material difference in how you plan for it at this point.
Let's move on to segment 2.